Whoa, easy there. Well, this is one of those pictures from the historical manuscripts that you might have seen pop up on meme pages. It does look a little interesting. And it is, in fact, a legitimate technique. It's not for seduction. It's not to try to dissuade your opponent from attacking you by pleasuring them or whatever. The way it's described in the manual is we come to a bind, and I'm going to act as if I want to wind into the opponent's face. Now there's different ways of doing that. I'm assuming it's going to be this. The opponent reacts to that. I'm going to then knock the blade with my guard while stepping in, drop the sword above my head, push my head into the opponent's belly or chest, and grab the thighs. Boom. This can either be just holding the legs, or you can actually lift up as well. So I can lift the legs up and perform the takedown that way. So as said, strength and size and weight do matter here. And in fact, the manuscript points that out too. This is a technique for strong fighters. And so if you do this on me, and I stand fairly relaxed, it's going to be pretty easy for you to do that. In a fighting stance, do that again. It's a bit more struggle if it's a good stance, and it also depends on how quickly the opponent reacts. You really shouldn't do that against an opponent that's substantially stronger, because they can essentially just drop on you, or even worse, just pick you up. So worst case scenario, if you try that against somebody who's stronger, they may resist you and then just pick you up and boom! So why push with the head rather than the shoulder? Well, I'm sure somebody who actually practices Jujitsu and whatnot can tell you way more about that. But one aspect is if I do this with the shoulder, my head may actually end up in a guillotine choke right there. I'm sure there's ways to avoid that. Again, you got to talk to somebody who practices grappling, but here this doesn't really happen. All right, so what do you do if somebody does that against you? Well, the best way of dealing with it is to be elsewhere. As you really need to use superior agility and footwork against somebody who's stronger, because they can really steamroll you. Strength isn't as decisive in sword fighting as it is in unarmed martial arts, even though it's still important, obviously. And you can be at quite a disadvantage if the opponent is substantially stronger. But it's not as big of a deal, because if you're quick, you can always step aside, and you don't need to be quite as close. Like I can be all the way over here and threaten the opponent. Let's show it from the other side. So this is happening, boom, and I just step to the side, off center, and counter. And the idea with this is, if somebody rushes you straight forward, it's going to take them longer to stop and turn around than it does you to simply take a sidestep. Now, this depends on how soon I notice that something is going on. And here, the good thing is, with the bind, you get some information about what the opponent is doing. So if I wait too long with this, so if we're already here, continue. Now I have a problem. This is already too late. Now, what I can still do here is just kind of drop down on them. You can do this in a different way that does not require dropping the sword. So come in, push up, and I still have the use of my sword. And there you can also see why this push is there. If from here, if I just try to come in, it's going to take too long for me to get there. So the opponent can do something else meanwhile. Like, there are other things I can do from here, like wind and cut, even come in, grab the arms, pommel strike, things like that, but I'm not far enough behind them to break the structure to really do a throw here. Another potential issue here is something that could go wrong. You gotta do it quickly. Alright, that's it. Hope you found it interesting and / or entertaining. Thank you for helping out, of course.
Always.
And yeah, get out of here. Alright, here's one of those pictures. I don't even smoke. I don't know what this is.
He doesn't vape either.
No, I don't vape. I don't even vape. So funny. I'm gonna be dying here. So funny. Then I'm going to drop my sword over my head. Disconnecting the video light.
Clearly, part of the technique, yes.
Oh my fucking god. Why though?
That totally needs to go on outtakes.
That is 100% outtake.
Yes.
And majestic one at that.